Hey guys, Frytech here. Please excuse my voice and my sickly look. I'm a bit under the weather. But today is Apple's WWDC 2024, where they supposedly should announce iOS 18, iPadOS 18, and the next version of macOS. And I just want to briefly talk about it. This is kind of what I would want from Apple, and I know that this is WWDC, so this is about developers and sort of the tools that Apple will give to developers, but they will announce some better version, presumably, of iOS 18, iPadOS 18. And so these are the things that I would want to actually see from Apple. So a lot of buzzwords have been lately about AI, and I absolutely hate the term AI and just everything that's going around it. There's nothing intelligent about AI. It's not artificial intelligence, because there's no intelligence. And I will point you to an episode of Accidental Tech Podcast where they explained how large language models actually work. Like, there's literally no intelligence there. You cannot influence that system, at least not how it is designed today, because once it's trained by Google, OpenAI, Apple, doesn't matter who is done, Facebook, doesn't matter. It's got its weights set in, and your commands, like what you're saying to that thing, doesn't really change anything. And so if it doesn't get it, like, I'll show you a quick example just before we start about WWDC. I asked Microsoft's whatever thing they're doing to give me an image of XM8500 microphone, because this is the review that I'm working on right now, with a crown on top. That's the picture it's given me after like maybe 20 minutes, or actually it's given me it the next day, because on the day that I asked it, it didn't do anything. And I also done like some other random thing that I've seen on the web. This is what it's done. So if I ask you, a person, real person, give me an image, or like imagine an image of a microphone, Behringer XM8500 with a crown on top. First of all, like, if you don't know this microphone, you will go and look up that microphone. And those models, apparently they cannot do that. They cannot just think like humans think. Go and take a look at what this Behringer microphone looks like, and then put a crown on top. Instead, it does this generic sort of Blue Yeti kind of a microphone thing, and it's just dumb. It's shit. It's disgustingly garbage at the moment. And what's worse about all of that is that it's unreliable. You need to check what it's done all the fucking time, and it kind of eliminates basically any usefulness of that thing, because it hallucinates, it spits out shit, and so you need to babysit it. And so, like, why do I need this? I'm wasting my time babysitting that thing and creating like prompts to that thing, if instead I could have just go and do that thing that I need. Anyway, that's besides the point. I hate AI. I don't want Apple to actually do anything with it. They had machine learning, ML. They've marketed it for years. It was machine learning. I hope that they stick to that thing, machine learning. They just rename it to their fucking stupid AI shit. Literally, the last year, they haven't mentioned AI in any of their press conferences, in any keynotes, WWDC, nothing. Not a single time AI was in their press conferences. Now, if you go and look, whatever was the latest Apple announcement, AI was there, I think, like 20 times or something like that, which goes to show that Apple doesn't really have a like clear, good vision. Apple is not the same as it was when Steve Jobs was still alive, unfortunately. There is no really good, clear vision anymore. There is no just like one command in voice that can say like, no, I don't like it. It's shit, make it useful, make it work nice, make it work reliably, so on and so forth. There is no such voice anymore. It's all like done by committee, and committee right now apparently consists of higher-ups who barely use their own products, apparently, who don't care really about repairability, and are just changing things under the pressure of basically like almost like governments. And overall, it's a bad state of Apple, to be honest. But besides the point, let's go into WWDC 2024. So again, a lot of talks about AI shit and whatever. Let me just like tell you a few things that I don't care, I don't want to see. AI assisted writing in Pages. AI assisted slide deck creation in Keynote. AI code writing in Xcode for developers. That can be actually interesting, because all of these developers, AI tinkers, whatever, they all try to eliminate essentially the need of artists, musicians. They want to create music, they want to create videos, photos, all that kind of stuff, creative things. But the problem with that, they want to write screenplays or books even with AI. But the problem with that is that all of the creative things, they come from the proverbial soul of a person. It comes from a person's experience. It comes from like inner pain and suffering and complex emotions and what happened in the life of a person. And that's how you get great stories. And a lot of these programmers apparently don't really get that these things cannot really be just automated, just spewed out by some nonsensical LLM. But what can be really automated pretty well, because it's all logical, there is no like emotion involved, it's code. And so I'm really waiting and rooting for like code assisted sort of thing to really pick up its pace, because then a lot of those people who tried to essentially eliminate us sort of creators of like music, videos, things like that, well, they will be eliminated. And you know what? I will not be sorry for them. So there's that. What I like from a couple things that I've seen here, what I'm kind of excited about is voice memo transcriptions. This is something that like I do record quite a lot of voice memos, and I really want on my iPhone or on the iPad, on my device, transcriptions. I don't want it to be sent anywhere, not even to Apple servers, to be frank. I want it to be on device, precise, correct, and yeah, just that. I want as much on-device things as possibly, to be honest. I don't want to give my information to the cloud. I don't want to interact with the cloud because, you know, the internet not always great and whatnot. And yeah, as we've seen with Adobe recently, and I will make the next video probably about it, companies can fuck you over if you allow them, essentially. Anyway, photo retouching, removal, such as removal of unwanted objects, that's pretty nice, but it depends of like how nice of a feel can this tool do. Like Photoshop, for example, does pretty well if you like need to, for example, crop the image and maybe like extend the borders, or, you know, like remove some little objects or some litter on the ground, or maybe even a couple people on the background of your photo, and it does pretty good job. I've seen Google showcase their own feature like that. Sometimes it does a good job, sometimes not a great job, but we'll see what what's Apple version is like. But that's something pretty okay. Like photo retouching, that's pretty okay. Voice memo transcription on device, that would be really good. Apparently Apple will finally introduce this system of sort of like next generation SMS, essentially RCS. RCS apparently will be introduced. I don't know how they will implement this, because I'm 100% sure they will not get rid of green bubbles. But how will they distinguish between just a regular SMS and this RCS? Maybe they will add like another color, or maybe they will add like check marks. Was this thing like delivered? Because with SMS you can't really do this, because there is no like back and forth sort of communication, but with this there is. So theoretically you could still send your green things to like Android users, for example, but they will see that it's delivered or read, opened, wherever. That would be interesting, I think. Apparently Apple will introduce the ability to customize the home screen in terms of like open grid, so you could move the icons wherever you want. That would be kind of nice, because it's a bit like stale. It's been like the grid that iPhone has right now with, you know, moving icons that are all stick to the same thing. It's been from the very first iPhone right there, and I think it's time to slightly like upgrade it. Also, one thing that wasn't mentioned, I don't think, but I would want this screen, the like the lock screen. You see this like row, just one row of either some kind of a little widget or like a shortcut, quick shortcut icon. I would want that to expand, actually. I would want that to be like 2 rows, for example, so I could put more custom things there. Because yeah, right now I have like a custom photo video app and like shortcuts app for a camera and a small widget, and I would want more there, to be honest. I hope they finally do something with notifications, because notifications on iOS is such a fucking mess. It's like, I don't understand. Like I'm saying, like people who are working on iOS products seemingly don't fucking use their own products, and that's that's seemingly what it is. It's disgusting, it's stupid, I don't know. Also, there's apparently gonna be like smart recap for missed notifications and messages, and also suggested replies to emails and messages. I don't know how to feel about it, because once again, if it's gonna be sort of OpenAI powered feature or something of that sort, it's gonna be hard for me personally to trust it, because I've seen how many times it hallucinates. I've used ChatGPT on several projects recently, and it's just not reliable. It spews the same shit over and over again, and most of it takes out of like the context, and what you want is from your own prompt. So it's not particularly smart at all whatsoever, but it can be very confident in what it's saying. And so like if you get like a long email, or like, yeah, for example, long email, and you summarize it with this AI shit, and it just like spits out nonsense to you, and you reply based on that nonsense instead of actually reading your email, that can lead to a lot of trouble. And I know that like Apple is more of a like a reserved company. They're like more kind of conservative company. So I hope that like they like really properly test everything, and don't allow this shit to, you know, just hallucinate some nonsense. I don't know how it's gonna be done. I would hope that they can also improve Siri a little bit. To be honest, I don't have high hopes. I just wish that they don't fuck it up, that they don't like introduce, because I've heard that this is kind of like their top level executives, Tim Cooks of the world and whatnot, not great thinkers, let's put it that way, in my opinion. They apparently sort of demand a lot of the sort of teams that work on different projects and products inside of Apple to basically sprinkle AI here and AI there, that kind of shit. If it is actually demanded of people to actually implement some kind of AI shit, it can lead to a lot of very mediocre, let's put it that way, experiences for end users, especially if the end users will actually think that these features work 100% and will actually like rely on them, like I just described example with an email, for example. You know what I would like really want to see? I would really want to see a redesigned camera app with a pro features. Give me a toggle to enable pro features. Give me white balance with kelvins that I can shift and change. Give me manual focus there. Basically, give me things that a lot of like third-party apps already do, but like give me in the built-in camera app, because you know what's easy is to swipe right there, or actually like hold the icon, right, to launch the regular camera app. But you know what's not good? If you're pointing at the scene and it takes incorrect white balance, and it's not a pro phone, so it doesn't shoot RAW, so I cannot really properly change that white balance later. And I cannot change the white balance on the screen because there is no controls for that. And if Apple misjudges what the scene looks like, what the light is, I cannot do anything about it. I really hope that Apple will finally acknowledge that there are a lot of pro users of their products, and they don't necessarily need to have pro phones to have basic features like white balance. White balance is one of the basic things. White balance, shutter speed, again, like, well, you don't have aperture control, but yeah, at least like shutter speed, white balance, and yeah, for a good measure, give me manual focus, give me an option to choose ISO, for example. Why, like, again, how many years since the first iPhone, 2007, how many years it is? Why we don't have it? I don't get it. Like, I shoot quite a lot with an iPhone, photos and videos, and the one thing that bothers me a lot is white balance, shutter speed, like what I just described. There is no pro controls in the camera app. I want the pro settings. I want the setting to turn on and off HDR video without going to fucking settings. How about that? I literally have a shortcut on the, right here, how can I, that goes to camera app settings. That goes to camera app settings, so I can actually turn on and off HDR videos, because HDR videos is good when it has a lot of light, when it's bright scenes and whatnot. But when it gets darker, HDR video is messing up your scene. It's not good anymore, so I turn it off. I need to go back and forth all the time for that. That's ridiculous. Can we please get rid of this? Can we please get all of the controls inside the app? Give me pro mode in a camera app, Apple, please. If this doesn't happen this year, I will be absolutely 100% certain There is no clear direction in that company. They're like wishy-washy. They kind of have an idea, okay, we have a couple products already in development, but we don't have clear vision of what we're doing, and we're not using our fucking phones. Because if somebody at Apple has been using their phones, actually using their phones, how are you not, like, I'm talking obviously about like slightly higher up positions where you can actually influence the decisions. I mean, again, like those people are all like fucking 60, 55, whatever years old. So apparently they're not using anything. They're just like going to Apple, creating some fucking bullshit garbage that nobody asked for. And then they go back home to their families and they never fucking use their phones. That's my best explanation why the state of the Apple as it is. And the younger fucking generation comes up using fucking iPads, and then they go and change macOS to look like a fucking iPad. I still can't believe that Safari got rid of plus icon at the right corner to create new tabs. I still can't believe. And they changed macOS to look like a fucking iPadOS. Safari. That's the fucking young generation, which are fucking brain dead because they want to simplify great operating system and actually ruin it, not simplify, ruin great operating system like macOS. And then there's older generation at Apple who don't give a fuck about anything. They just like create some fucking imaginary shit that's like, again, Vision Pro. Nobody fucking asked for it. Pretty garbage product for a fucking enormous price and nothing to do right here. People have been so excited about this thing. I'm listening to a few podcasts. Nobody fucking does anything with it. There is no content inside of it. People didn't come there with, developers didn't come there with their applications. There is no content, nothing to do. And for productivity, just a regular good old Mac and like an iPad as a side screen or whatever, or just an iPhone solves everything. Basically, yeah, you can sit here with a giant screen, okay, cool, and you do this, oh, wow, cool. I mean, I'm sure the experience is really cool when you actually put it first time, oh, amazing, whatever, the pass through, whoa, such cool. When the novelty wears out, nothing else to do there. So there's that. Kind of a similar thing with like Tesla and Cybertruck. They sort of put so much resources into that shit, garbage product, absolutely fucking insane how that shit is even allowed on the streets, but apparently in US there is no pedestrian regulation for crash safety of pedestrians, not the car, and so that's why they don't sell it in Europe, because in Europe it would not pass any fucking tests whatsoever. The car is garbage, it looks like garbage, the gaps are fucking my finger size, and if I stick my finger and it closes, it will break my finger. Amazing, let's not even go there. Fucking hell. So yeah, that's like, I stopped believing in Apple like a long time ago. I've made a video about it. I bought like iPhone 12 in 2024. It's pretty good actually, I have to say that. It's a way better experience than my last iPhone 6s Plus that I've been using from like 2015. There's that, but again, like from iPhone 12 to iPhone 15, I haven't seen that much of a change. And from iOS like 15 to 17, again, not that much change, to be honest. Nothing that amazing has happened to that OS, man. That's a bummer. So instead of like pursuing this like AI fucking cool new buzzwords, I would want them to do something actually useful, like actually design and create repairable phones, get rid of your stupid fucking locks of like serial numbers, and yeah, even literally like, even if I don't need to repair right now my phone, like that would be way better progress than AI assisted writing in Pages. Fuck me. Oh, I remember one more thing I would want. Fucking, can you please give us, Apple, can you please give us, look at this, Captain. We have giant fucking keyboard on the iPad. Oh, sorry, like you can see, right? Obviously. Giant keyboard. Can we please, Apple, get the number row above the keyboard? Can it please be done on the iPhone as well? That would be so nice, that I don't have to tap this 1, 2, 3 button to switch into 1, 2, 3 like numbers and extra character modes and things like that. If I just need to like type my password and it is something letters and numbers, can I please do it without tapping extra buttons? How hard that can be. Anyway, that's my 20-minute rant on that thing. I hope I will cut it down to like 12 minutes or something like that. But yeah, what do you think about upcoming iOS 18, iPadOS, macOS? What do you expect? Do you believe in Apple, or are you more like on my side that it's like They don't know what they're doing, and I don't know what they're doing, but it's not particularly cool, to be honest. Let me know in the comment section, and please subscribe to Frytech channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye, guys.